Okay, we'll have an executive session following this meeting to discuss personnel and negotiation issues. Any presentation by the public on?
And you had it one prior?
Oh, yeah, so we had a 30-minute executive session prior to discuss negotiations. Any presentation by public on the agenda items? All right. Motion to ratify myself as the board president and Mr. Rathgeb as board president?
Board Vice President.
Board vice president.
This is just my recommendation. I know that there was nominations, you closed nominations. It wasn't a formal vote, and I'd just like to make sure there's not an issue.
Second.
Last chance to.
Yeah, we're going to change now.
Mr. Wolf?
Motion second.
Roll, you want to roll call?
Yeah, please.
Ms. Albright?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Jericho is not here. Mr. Strobel's not here. Mr. B. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf, yes. Ms. Olson?
Yes.
Mr. Rathgeb?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. To abstain, not here.
There is.
10B needs to be removed.
All right, we have one more agenda edit under finance. Item number 10D. 10D needs to be removed.
Not needed.
Strobel. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll call Mr. Strobel.
Mr. Strobel.
I'm here.
Alrighty, we're underway. We'll add you to being here via telephone at 7:33.
Thank you.
Kevin, do you have an agenda with you?
Pardon?
Do you have an agenda with you?
I do not.
Okay,
I'm good though.
all right.
Like I say, I'll follow along.
All right, so we have a motion for the consent agenda, last letter O.
Mr. Scott, do you want the consent agenda to consist of 8 and 9, or are we just doing 8?
I think we're just doing 8.
So 8, I will make a motion for 8A through N.
Second.
Motion second, and just
Discussion.
vote. Yeah, is there any discussion?
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none.
Cool.
Here, the consent agenda listed as 8A through 8N will be here be adopted unless I hear motions from anyone to the negative. Hearing none, motion 8A through 8N is adopted.
All right, now do we have a motion for 8O?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mr. Rathgeb, you have discussion?
I just wanted to make sure we're clear on what's going on. We had a list of items that came out from the business office as to what would be recommended, not recommended as far as the improvements go. And if I understand correctly, the not recommended items will not be considered reimbursable. Is that what I'm gathering?
No, after me and Casey had discussed it, the not recommended items are items that I don't believe we should even have done at all.
Okay.
Casey and I discussed those from a facilities. Of course, the vote is ultimately yours, but from a facility standpoint and maintenance later on in the game, those are things we just don't want to be, we don't want to be removing, because if we go back to a school, it's just too costly to get these things corrected.
I guess it's not clear if it says not recommended.
Yeah, not recommended.
Not approved.
Right, and there's also a list that
Well,
there's three categories, right?
the other ones are not clear yet. not.
So not an improvement, and I requested, go ahead.
They're not an improvement means it's not an improvement to our school. If it's an actual improvement, then it would be something we could keep in place and not have to pay money to put it back.
So by way of additional clarification, we would be permitting those items to be completed, but we would not be reimbursing them in the event of an early termination release.
And there's at least one item said not recommended as well inside there, so that's something we wouldn't want them to do.
I guess it's partial, right?
Yes, partial, yes.
And
Like
then,
the staining, we don't
Yes.
want them staining. You can refinish it, but not the staining.
And we are okay with them though putting down new flooring on top of, what they're putting the floating.
As long as there's a floating floor, it's very specific, and then Casey does have somebody that knows how to put like something that looks like a carpet over the gym floor, that would protect that gym floor.
And that floating wood floor laminate can be removed without an issue and your digs, is that what we're?
Yes, that's per Casey, yes.
And then the other, so there's two other questions I had. One was they're looking to put a carpeting in the food prep area. Was that what I read?
In the, I don't remember seeing that. In the nurse area,
Storage
prep
room.
room, yeah, they're just the carpeted squares that can be removed.
oh, just a prep room of cabinets.
Yeah, exactly, but that's,
Yeah, I don't think usually carpeting and food prep aren't usually a good mix.
and that's fine, but they're easily removed, that's
Okay,
what we
all
said.
right.
If they want to do that, that's fine, but we don't, it's not an additional, it's not that much of a cost for us to,
Okay. And
that's
then,
not easy.
and this so I understand, it looks like there was original discussion on perhaps, I get the snow removal, that's pretty clear, but we're in charge of all lawn service then, right? They're not.
Yes.
Okay, so originally there was discussion that they
That they
might
were
be
gonna do
doing.
the front, but that doesn't, it wasn't a no.
Okay, so we're doing.
Yes,
all-
we'll take care of the lawn work.
And then just, again, by way of clarification, the items under improvement, listed under improvement would be reimbursable in the event of an early termination.
Correct.
Can I ask another question that might have been addressed before? If it did, I missed the answer. The ball fields, are we still offering that space to the little leagues and stuff like that?
Yeah, the ball fields are,
And we still will be managing
On
that scheduling?
On the agreement, it lists the fields as well as the gym, interior gym. It says that, probably Mr. Sears might have it there, but it says that they have, we have the right, if there's a request to use it, we have to get their consent, but within, is it 48 hours in there, Brian? It was definitely in there.
it was 48 hours.
So if that's the case, I just wanted to be sure that if parents who were attending the ball game wanted to park on the property instead of on the side of the street, they would still be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was addressed at all, but
I don't have an answer for that.
And what is the question?
If there is a use of the ball fields, that we are in charge of managing who gets to use the ball fields. If those parents who are attending like Little League games, if they'd still be able to park in the parking lot versus along the side of the street. Because there's only parking on one side of that street.
No, I didn't know if I didn't find it yet. I apologize, one of my associates had drafted this lease. Okay.
Ultimately, that might not be like part of the renovation discussion, so it might not affect voting for 8-0.
Yeah, I did locate the provision, I apologize, yeah. Under item 7, Article 7, use of leased premises, the provision provides community organizations shall be permitted to make use of these school grounds including the playing fields and gymnasium upon prior approval by landlord and upon landlord's notice to tenant. If the landlord approves the non-recurring and/or occasional use of the gymnasium by community organizations pursuant to the foregoing, the landlord shall obtain consent of the tenant, which consent from the tenant shall not be unreasonably withheld, delayed, or conditioned. Based on that provision, we would have to get, notice and consent for the gymnasium, but not for the ball fields.
Okay.
So if I read that correctly, then that would, I think we've already made arrangements for like Henry, basketball. We've already made arrangements because that would be a recurring use. So really, it's only an organization that would want to use like a one-time or maybe once a year. But we couldn't. No organization that would be using the facility on a weekly basis could use it. Is that what I gather?
This is
But,
only
I mean-
permitting.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense?
Occasional use.
Correct.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense to have provisions for the parking called out?
We can make a minor revision saying with respect to that and ancillary use of parking areas.
Like if you're,
If the parents aren't allowed to park there, it could create a significant problem in the neighborhood. If you have like
Yeah.
25 kids in a Z-ball game, there's not 25 parking spots on the street.
Okay. We'll make the revision.
I mean, just so if you're using the space, the gym or the fields, you have access to the parking lot.
Got it.
Just, I mean, any other concerns about item L? Mr. Wolf, you have a roll call vote?
You want to consent agenda item? Or do you want-
No, this was pulled out as a separate item. But
No?
as long as you have a
Roll
recorded
call.
vote,
All
yeah, it
right.
doesn't
Well,
matter.
then
Is he allowed to speak?
That's-
No.
We already requested comment from agenda items. It's up to the board if we want to make an exception to that.
I'm all right with it. Somebody want to make a comment?
Sorry, I did not understand what that meant earlier. So please forgive me. My name is Devin Blankenmiller of Fun Life Church. So the comment I want to make was in regards to those renovations. It was my assumption when we were first negotiating that the leasehold improvements that we would make to the building would be permitted under Section 14 and therefore reimbursable. When we submitted the renovations to be approved by you guys, the administration did break it out between non-improvements and improvements. However, what that does is it puts a more financial risk on us, so that if you guys would kick us out early, we would lose our investment in things that we couldn't get our money back. When we originally sat down with Mr. Hurley and Ms. Haynes, we had talked about how to make this work was to be able to, we wanted to make renovations and equipment and all that stuff. However, we understood that there was a small possibility that you guys would open this back up as a school again. And so to work that out, we came up with the Section 14 provision of a prorated reimbursement if we got asked to leave early. So because most of our renovations were not considered for improvement, therefore we lose kind of our financial position there, and we have a much greater risk that if you guys could technically ask us to leave at any time, because the lease says there's a 60-day notice that you guys could ask us to leave. So that's why we were asking for a 5-year lease. So I guess I'm coming here to say, would you guys consider back to what my assumption was when we first sat down to meet, that you guys would reimburse us our costs if we were asked to leave early, or if some sort of provision could be put in that you guys wouldn't ask us to leave unless it was because the school was opening again, or you were selling the building. Because as of right now, technically, you could ask us to leave at any point and we'd lose all of our investment.
So it sounds like there's two concerns really then. One is the two lists of
That's the big concern. That's the big concern.
improvement and what isn't, and then the second is, regardless of that, if you guys make improvements and if we have you leave earlier than you anticipated, you want some type of prorated clause in there to say we should get some percentage of our funds back.
And that clause is in there, Section 14. It is a prorated clause. It was just under my assumption that was going to be for any sort of alterations which are considered any sort of cosmetic, non-structural, structural, or building improvement item is what it says in section 14. So, but then once I found out on Friday that that was only for things that, improvements that you guys were benefiting from or was good for the school building if you guys go back. So that's why I'm coming here to discuss this with you guys,
Mr.
if
Supers,
that makes sense.
how long does it take? Yeah, I know opening the building is relatively easy compared to closing one. Well, what's the notice that you have to give this, the PA, Department of Education,
Well,
to say you're going to reopen a building?
I mean, it depends on whether or not there are any building code issues that would be imposed by the Birchburg Borough if we reoccupy as a school building. So, but I mean, it would be, in all likelihood, it would take us longer than 60 days. The 60-day provision is just to terminate the lease.
Because I think the board would, and even in the budget cycle, would be determining that in a year in advance at least, that we're going to be necessitated by enrollment to open the building up again, which is the point of doing the renovations on it, is when we get to that point. So I would feel comfortable if we had language in there that said that, to strike those point that,
Increase the notice provision from 60 days to 6 months.
Well, that we were going to open it up as a school. That was the intent was to reopen it up as a school. That was your words, correct?
That was my second point. My first point was to protect our investment in general. I mean, when I first met with Ms. Haynes and Mr. Hurley, we talked about we're planning on spending some significant money on equipment and renovations. And so, that's why we requested a 5-year lease. And I think when I saw the list of renovations that were kind of like considered improvements, it's only, 20% of that as far as the cost. So we could lose.
Well, without going line by line, you can understand, like, putting carpet in the kitchen,
Sure.
is it something that, right, if anything, it costs us because we'll have to take it out.
Sure.
Right, so, and I don't want to quibble over,
Mr. Scott, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if we're still pretty far away from each other on this, is this the forum to be discussing line by line what we?
no, I'm saying,
Should we be creating another meeting?
it feels like we need to table this and,
Yeah.
again,
My apologies.
no, it's understandable.
No,
So we're clear.
that wasn't my intention to put you off. I'm just wondering if maybe.
I mean, just for my 2 cents, we can go back and renegotiate this, but, I put my stock in my administration for giving me these answers. So, I mean, and I think we can compromise, and, I think it's good for both of us. I think we get a good space at a very reasonable price, and we get somebody in there to keep the building occupied, and so I think it's a win-win for both sides. We can see what we can do, but, from what the list is, I don't think we're going to be ruining the building anytime soon. So I don't think there should be too much worry on your side. However, I understand your point of view. Maybe there's a couple things that you cannot do on the list. That way, keep it less out-of-pocket cost for you, and then we don't have to worry about that reimbursement as well. So we can pare it down a little bit.
And again, I think the last point would be if that's the way it is with the improvements, I think if we could have something that would say that you're not asking us to leave for any other reasons, because right now it's, technically the lease is written that you guys could ask us to leave at any point for any reason. So, and if it was changed in that way, then we'd have an assurance that yes, the percentage of you guys turning it back into school is very slim. If you guys would also need a provision in there that say if you sold the building as well.
Yeah, I think the only options I can see is if we sold the building,
Right.
or if we reopened it as a school.
Sure.
Is there a potential that we could find someone to lease it at a much higher cost? I think it's possible, but I don't think that's something that we're even, going out there to market. So
And again, we just need to be good stewards for our church congregation. That's all. Which is why we're asking these things. But I understand your point as well, so I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you very much for letting me talk about it.
So I would propose a motion to table. We can review this in executive session.
Have a motion?
Second.
I'll make a motion to table.
All right.
All those in favor of the motion to table?
Aye.
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 That's Kevin.
I said aye.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Strobel.
How's the weather out there?
Aye. That's nice. A lot of traffic.
All right. So, yeah. So we'll move on to personnel consent items 9A through 9D.
I'll make a motion for items 9A through 9D.
9D.
Second.
All right.
Who was the initial motion?
Mr. Rathkamp? Vice President Rathkamp?
Formally.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So it's 9A through D?
Yes, 9A through 9D.
No, it's not removed, they can vote on it. Mine was 10B, was what was in the double dot, thing for the budget.
Want to do
What
this?
was it?
I'm just checking, sorry.
Okay, consent agenda items 9A through 9D will be adopted unless I hear motions to the negative. Hearing none. Consent agenda items 9A through 9D are adopted.
Mr. Stone, do we have this for 9D? Do we have to spell out an overview?
I'm sorry?
Do we have for 9D? Do we have to spell out a number of years because it says to be determined?
Yeah, I guess we need to amend that, because we're basically, we have to amend that to,
3 years and then within June 30, 2021?
and also, I guess, per review.
Per solicitor's review? Okay.
Yeah,
Subject to solicitor review.
correct. Yeah, no, good call.
So we need a.
So we need a motion for, I'll make a motion for 9.
Well, I'm happy to amend my.
Yeah.
Oh, you will, okay.
Friendly,
It's amended to first and second, and then, but we should have
As
a vote.
amended.
Yeah, and then we should have a vote on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, let's do a roll call vote for that.
9.
9D as amended by Mr. Rathgeb.
Roll call. All right. Mr. Rathgeb?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf, yes. Mr. J. Scott?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Olson?
Yes.
Ms. Albright?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Strobel?
Yes.
Mr. J. Scott?
Yes.
You're not last on this.
You weren't sure? All right. So we're back to 10, as amended with 10F, and then also 10D is being removed.
Make a motion for 10A through F less D.
Here we go. Do we have a second?
Second.
I assume that this is like a standard agreement with the school markings. And we've never had an agreement before, so I'm actually kind of glad that someone took the initiative. Who I get the thank you?
The marketing thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that came in, Lisa Kiki was actually the one that saw that at CBS and initiated that.
Ah, okay.
She saw the.
So it's actually being sold already?
It was already being sold at CVS
Ah.
at Rite Aid. She saw it, and then she came to us, and then we called them, and a contract appeared, and so did some
Voila.
proceeds.
That's not bad. Okay.
Any other board discussion?
Mr. Wolf, yes. Mr. Rathgeb?
Yes.
Ms. Olson?
Yes.
Ms. Albright?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Strobel?
Yes.
Mr. B. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. J. Scott?
Yes.
Motion passes. 8-0.
All right. On to personnel. Separate.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're looking for a motion for items 11A through C.
Motion.
Second.
All right. Any more discussion? A through C. All right.
Ms. Olson?
Yes.
Ms. Albright?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Strobel?
Yes.
Mr. B. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf, yes. Mr. Rathke?
Yes.
Mr. J. Scott?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
All right. And then finish off personnel with items 11D and E. So our appointment of our new superintendent.
So moved.
Second.
And I'd just like to acknowledge that Dr. Cooper is here with us tonight. So welcome, Mr. Cooper, Dr. Cooper to the district.
Hey, you gotta vote first before you clap. You gotta vote first before you
Oh,
clap.
that's true. I think we have 5. I think we're good.
Our president 504.
Our president's a rookie.
He clapped way before I did.
J. Scott.
Do we have to finish filling in the blanks on E before we vote?
Roll call
Well,
vote, Mr. Wolf.
So on the agenda ends has that, so you're okay with that. Yeah.
Ms. Olson?
Yes.
Ms. Albright?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Strobel?
Yes.
Mr. B. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf, yes. Mr. Rathke?
Yes.
Mr. J. Scott?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Now you
Now you're voting.
All right. Old business. A motion for 12A through C. Oh no. Yeah, we have one more, 11F. We talked about maybe jumping out and having a quick exec.
Yeah, you can.
Discussion on this.
You can recess the meeting for a brief.
Yeah, just for
executive session.
5-10 minutes. Just to... All right, we'll be right back.
All right, Mr. Strobel, I'll call you back.